Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good evening, folks. It's me, Ray George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Folks, can you believe it? It is the weekend, baby. Woo-hoo. I used to remember those days when I had a job, and one of my old jobs only worked 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. I was off on Friday. So while y'all fools at work, I'm at home watching cartoons in the afternoon and in the morning. So, folks, as you know, tomorrow will be the Triple O Dynasty. Shout out to the amazing ladies. This is going to be the debut, actually the debut of competitors, and also this would be the start for women's bodybuilding figure for the season in the IFBB. It's also a pro-am show, and also I want to shout out to some dear friends of mine. That's Eunice Martinez Kitchens, Jolene Fuchs, and David Bryant. They are sponsoring the show. Also myself. I'm sponsoring one of the jackets for the winner in the women's bodybuilding division. Also, want to shout out to the ladies who are promoting the show. They are just top of the sport. That is, Sid Gillen, former 8-time Miss Olympic figure champion, and also, as you know, I'm obsessed about her. My girlfriend, Andrea Shaw. I mean, she's so beautiful. I can't help it. So, but this lady here. She's not too bad looking. She's a beautiful lady. She is OCB in NPC natural competitor in wellness. Wellness, guys, I'm kind of have my eye on that division particularly. I've interviewed a few wellness competitors, a couple of pros and some amateurs, but it's just particularly a division that's kind of piqued my interest. Sorry. So we have here the lovely Miss Shawnte Dixon. Shawnte, I saw one of her videos a while back. I said, you know what, she really gives us some good points about what it is to be a competitor in the sport of bodybuilding. That's why I always, I reach out to people that interest me and pick my interests about them, and also to share their thoughts and their experience as a competitive bodybuilder. So, Shawnte, welcome and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I love that you opened up with the Triple O Dynasty because my coach is there now. I actually have a teammate competing this week, and I think she's in IFBB Women's Physique, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, go team.
Oh, well, who's your
Go
coach?
Game Time Fitness.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool because like I said again, it's a great show. It's been around this is going to be third year. Some ladies I've interviewed are competing both in figure and women's bodybuilding at that show. And like I said, my friend Eunice is there already. She's one of the sponsors. And she reached out to me. She wanted me if I want me to sponsor. So I said, well, what can I do? Say, well, you can sponsor a jacket. So anyway, Shawnte, I'm gonna ask you this question. What got you started in sports? I call it muscle and masculinity. Please share.
So, I've been a track athlete my entire life since I started running track in like 1996. So, I did that throughout up until college. But probably like my second year in college, I started getting really bad pains in my Achilles tendons, both of them, and you needed to walk. It's been mornings where I got up out of the bed and I could barely walk, and the pain just got so severe that I eventually had to stop running track. At the time, I was a personal trainer at Bally Total Fitness. Now I'm telling my age because Bally's was so long ago.
Yeah.
I worked part time at Bally Total Fitness while I was in undergrad. To help pay for school, pay for my living, and everything like that. And I actually have my best friend from high school. He was like, "Well, why don't you try bodybuilding?" I'm like, "What the heck is bodybuilding?" Like, I don't know what that is. Because he was prepping for his first show. So, he sent me some information, showed me some of his pictures and things like that. So he was actually my first coach. But at the time, he was down in Texas with his wife. So, he was basically like an online coach. So, I went through my first show basically completely oblivious. 'Cause like I said, he was out of state. So I actually did my first show by myself, backstage by myself. It was definitely an experience. No one told me about the tanning part.
Yeah, the tanner part they tell you get butt naked. So
Yeah, listen. When I first shot, I said, "Do what?"
yeah, well, some would
Now
do back
when
then. You
some
used
people
to go ahead.
when some people inquire about bodybuilding, I let them know all the ins and I'm like, yeah, nobody told me about this part. Nobody told me about that part. The money that goes into it, the dedication that goes into it, the consistency, all of the surprises, like I said, with the tanning when you get there. But the people are so amazing. You almost don't know that you're butt naked in front of strangers.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like Protan, usually it's Protan. Like they are so amazing, like with making you feel comfortable and everything. Like it's crazy. I've
I,
got my confidence has skyrocketed since I've done bodybuilding.
yeah, I don't know. I think you got to be really have a lot of control. I mean, if you like tanning some buff chicken, like you might be putting like, wait, Joe's supposed to be all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just like, just but
But I've never had an awkward experience. Not even in my first show. I've never had like it's even one show where they were tanning the guys and the girls in one room. So it's like you're trying to scooch on over to the next step so you can dry off, and it's like, did the guys see me? But the guys weren't creepy. The tanning people weren't creepy. It's just like, look, we're trying to get this tan on so we can hop on stage. Everybody's trying to either qualify for nationals or get this pro card, depending on which organization you're competing in. It's amazing.
yeah, because I think it's very professionalism. If you do it
Yes.
long enough, I know first timers, it's going to be experience, especially that tanning solution. It's very cold. It's cold. It's cold as ice. You know how it
And it's
was
like some of the positions, they're like, okay, bend over,
being over.
like the bikini pose. I'm like, huh? But always professional, never awkward.
Yeah, I know one lady who I met. She does tanning. Is Shawnte Hinton. She does tanning back scenes. A couple other competitors they do. They work for a lady. Interview Sheena Williamson. She also works with tanning, and it's an experience, especially for your first time, as I said earlier. And it's good that these people are professional and they probably know how to help people that first timers are coming in. They're nervous because you're butt naked. There's a bunch of guys with the dinglings hanging out.
Yeah.
And you just like you gotta I don't know, again, I have to make my crime shot there. I am a pervert. I'll be like scratching my head, like
I mean,
especially
I'm quite sure there's some people that take their peaks or whatever if you can, but for the most part, like it's never nothing like someone's trying to like, see around the 10 or anything like that, or they pulling you up on the outside, like, hey, I saw what you're working with, Never, I haven't experienced it anyway.
yeah, that's the thing is this. So okay, so that was your first time. What was division you were starting
I
in?
started in bikini. I started bikini, and the training for that. Oh my gosh. Because like I said, I've been a track lead, a track athlete my entire life, and I was a sprinter, so I had a lot of muscle on my legs. So for me to get down in bikini to do that, the cardio that I had to do, the hit workouts that I had to do, and it was just like, I gotta come down, I gotta come down, and I'm just like, I was miserable. I'm not gonna lie. Love the bikini look. Don't get me wrong. But for me to get down to that size and try to get the muscle off of my legs after being a sprinter and training lower body 3 times a week for most of my life, it was very, very difficult for me. But I was like, hey, I don't see me doing figure. I don't want to do physique or bodybuilding. I guess bikini is the closest thing, that I would want to do. So that's what I chose to do at the time.
Yeah, because I remember this guy. He was a long time talking about how he used to work. Some of the track teams, and y'all sprint girls, y'all be thick as a motherfucker. That's
Yes,
truthfully, y'all
yes.
because you need that
Wellness.
muscle.
We
So
had the wellness look, the thick legs, the booty, all of that. That's what we look like.
yeah,
Especially you see the pro athletes, they're thick on the lower half. It's all muscle.
and also there's quite a few bodybuilders who started out in track. Mira
Did.
Ash, Linda Murray, quite a few. I think some others. I know one lady I talked to,
Mhm.
Florencia Hunt. She is IFB figure pro and also a Master Olympic qualified athlete. She
Yeah.
even competed in Olympia.
Mm.
In
Well, Sid was a
Olympics.
track athlete.
Hmm?
Sid
Yeah, Sid.
talks about
Remember
it all the
Sid.
time.
Yeah, Sid. Remember one thing people didn't recognize before she did the was it Survivor years ago.
Mm.
And that was when she would see the muscles that we got her attention. Now look at her now. She is top in the world, 8-time champion and a top promoter. Amazing lady. I appreciate she support my content too. So that experience for you, what was that like? That first time on stage, you're halfway butt naked. You dipped in tanning and baby oil. You got to walk on stage for a bunch of people, and you got
Um. So at the time, I didn't know anything about a posing coach either. At my first show, I'm not. Oh my God. I should have sent you a picture of my first show. I'm not gonna lie. I worst look ever. Of course, that's what you want anyway. Your first look should always be your worst look because the goal is always to step on stage better than you did the previous show. But I had no makeup on. The girl that did my hair, I did not like it. I did not have a posing coach. I was just getting up there off of some YouTube videos, just winging it. Like, if you see my first show compared to my most recent show, everybody, is that the same girl? Like, it's no way. It's literally like night and day, but it was very, very terrifying. And I have anxiety. So me hopping up on stage, I had no family or friends in the audience. I knew nobody backstage. I think I came dead last. I'm going to admit I came dead last. And I'm not ashamed of that because it allowed me to grow over the years as far as presentation, as far as my posing, the suit colors, like everything. You just learn a little bit each show and you just get better and better. And now I'm looking at my most recent shows and I'm like, I look good.
It's like it's an evolution of every athlete. You start like remember when you first started running track,
Hmm.
you wasn't as fast as some of the other girls, but it took time and it's the training and
Exactly.
the practicing and also knowing how to move. Because even though I know quite a few of the ladies who they make fun a little bit of the bikini girls because you just gotta walk, flap your hair, and stick your butt out. That's about it. But it's every division has their movements, their posing, their style. Like one is different from the other, but yet it's about you as an athlete as you grow over time.
Exactly.
So okay, so what was what didn't you transition from well to bikini to wellness?
When they announced that wellness was coming to the US, I think we were just coming out of COVID. Um, and I told my coach at the time, I said I want to do wellness, and he really really wanted me to stay with bikini, and I'm like the amount of cardio that I got to keep doing in the hit. I knew that if I had stayed in bikini, I probably would have wound up quitting because of the workouts that I had to do because I put on muscle fairly easily. Like when I come down, these shoulders are boulders. The judges are like, okay, you can chill on the shoulders. Like I just went to the doctors a few weeks ago, and the lady said, "You work out?" I said, "And do." So it's relatively easy for me to put on muscle, but I could not lift like I was used to doing, all throughout college and even after because I couldn't put on the muscle because I had to stay small. So I told my I was like, I really, really want to do wellness. So of course now I got to try to transition from bikini and grow back into how I used to look and get this wellness look, which is still like I'm still trying to get there, but I'm further along than what I was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a process because you know what, the looks is totally different. Even though this is again, they do share some similarities, bikini and wellness, as I call them, the TNA division. That's what they are, and but they do share certain things, but it's different because if you look at the wellness division, because it was very popular in Brazil, it came over here. You have to
Hmm.
have those, as we talk about sometimes. You have to have those dominant Afro aesthetics. You have to have the bigger hips, the thicker thighs.
Yep.
Your proportions should be uneven, kind of like you could be
Yes.
slender at top. It's
Yes.
like it's like being a bodybuilder at the bottom, a bikini competitor at the top.
Exactly. Asymmetrical. They want you to be asymmetrical. And it's one of the few divisions where you have to be asymmetrical. Bikini, symmetrical. Figure, symmetrical. Most other divisions want you to be symmetrical, whereas wellness is the outlier. Your lower body has to overpower your upper body. Yes, I can still train my upper body like I'm bikini. But when it comes to the legs and the glutes, oh no, you need to put some weight on the bar.
Yeah, I know a couple ladies who they were in bodybuilding and in physique, and then in figure and went over even fitness went over to wellness, but then they didn't do as well, and then went back to the divisions because I think
Mhm.
it's about how your body is developing, how it grows.
Yeah.
That's why the Brazilians and many of the ladies from South America be so dominant. It's a lot harder for those women who are not who have those don't have those natural Afro aesthetics. That's
Yeah.
why Brazilians and Latinas do so well, but there's some ladies who look pretty good. I know was it a few weeks ago they had Arnold's Classic, and I saw one of the ladies that won. I mean, and
Oh, Rayani?
yeah,
Yeah.
and there was like they took a I think one lady I followed who won the fitness champion, Michelle Marseille. She had posted like her, Rihanna, and Ashley, and if you look at Rihanna and Ashley, it's just so not so much of a difference, but that's tiny bit. And you look at Michelle, just a totally different level. Well, we have
Hmm.
your guest here. Shout out to our man KL, the one who says, what's happening? Not much, brother. What about you? Our man KL, he also does content on ladies. He's more a fan of the women with muscle than he is about the sport. So yeah, you also a natural competitor, which is I think it's a lot tougher because with natural you can't use performance enhancers, you can't use PEDs, you can't use any kind of drugs for growth. You doing it all just on your own.
Hmm. I do. I take my regular supplements, like your iron, your potassium, things like that. But other than that, I take absolutely. Of course, you take your little fat burners, things like that. But I choose to be a natural athlete. I don't see that changing in the future. Um, but yeah, it's very very difficult. I don't like how some people say that those that use PEDs is using a shortcut because we all put in the same amount of work. So I do want to make that clear. I have respect for all bodybuilders, regardless of if they're natural or not. But for me, like I feel like my body will go crazy. Like my body goes crazy with the simplest of outliers, whether it's allergies or something like that. So I feel like if I put something in my body, it's really gonna go crazy. So for me, I just choose to stay a natural wellness athlete.
Because naturally, it does take a lot more time to put on muscle compared to the enhanced competitors. Because I think it takes maybe a good 6 months to put on just 5 pounds of muscle,
Yeah.
compared to somebody who's enhanced. It might take them maybe 6 weeks to put on 5 pounds of muscle because they're using them. And here's the thing about steroids: people got to remember that it's not the thing that makes your bodybuilder. It helps you in your recovery. It helps
Exactly.
you, like because when you're building muscle, it's like it's tearing the muscles and you're wearing your
Yeah.
body down, and it helps in that. But yeah, it's always going back because the bodybuilding has that stink eye compared to
Mm.
other sports where they use performance enhancers.
Yeah.
Steroids is about in everything.
And I think that's where some people get it mixed up. They say, "Oh, PEDs like really help." Yes, PEDs help, but it's because it helps you recover a lot faster, so you can train that muscle group, a little bit more. As opposed to me, I might have to wait 2 or 3 days to train the same muscle group that someone might be able to train in like a day or two. You know what I mean? So it. But for me, like I said, because when I was in college, I trained legs 3 times a week, regardless of how my legs was feeling. Like my college coach, his name was Coach Bush. Oh my God, he was crazy. he was he was absolutely insane. But we were training legs. Us sprinters were training legs 3 times a week. So I've built up a tolerance for that over the years. But for those that's not used to training that way and then just getting into bodybuilding, then yes, you might have to start off training legs maybe just twice a week. And it's going to take you a little bit longer to, develop that muscle. So it's all about the recovery. That's all.
Yeah, here's a comment from my man Kia. He says, why you it's always got to explain that? Just say I make content. Well, brother, sometimes people might reach out to you, and then they might talk to some things because you, like I say, some things you may not get as easy as I do, and But he's a pretty good dude. I would give a shot. He also does interviews with ladies from OCB, NPC, and IFBB. But I talk you up, but also sometimes he's not as together as me. But that's the thing. That's what separates us. But he's still a good dude. He said that he can be a little bit a hater sometimes. But you know what? I use hate. It's my
He's coming
energy.
on to pick
Use it.
on you. That's all that is. He's just
Yeah,
picking on
yeah.
you.
Also, he says this. He says the wellness girls quads are incredibly huge. Do you think your quads could be huge, Shawnte?
So actually, that was one of the feedbacks from the judges in my shows from last year is that I needed to grow my quads. My hamstrings has always been there. Like I don't know what it is. People are always amazed at my hamstrings, but the judges' feedback was to grow my quads. So that's I've really, really been hitting them hard since last like August, I would say. Um, so before my knee injury in my check-ins, my coach was just like, bruh, we really making some progress. Like they really getting up there. Now they may not be as big as I would like them to if I, came out of my off season and started prep, as opposed to if I stayed in off season this entire year and don't start prep until next year. But we have definitely made some progress since last August on my course, and I'm really really excited to cut down and see how they're gonna look. I'm excited.
Yeah, you want that nice, because one thing I think with some of these, you want that nice connection with your hamstring tie-ins. You want that good overall bubbly look, and also
Yes.
you want that, that is again with wellness. It's about having the bigger quads and the hips.
Hmm.
It searches are different. So, folks, we're gonna do this while we got Shawnte here. We are going to jump into her social media for a little bit. If you want to follow her, her links description of this live. You want to check her out. You want to support her. Reach out to me. I know some of you guys, you're more about the big buff muscular woman, but she's a lovely lady. And but again, guys, this is what I'm gonna say to you, and this is not for you, Shawnte. Guys, I know you guys out there and you have a particular type of mentality. So guys, no weird stuff, nothing strange, nothing funky, nothing, don't be saying click, click, click. Hey, stop it. Don't do it. What's wrong with you?
Listen, that
Yeah.
comes with the territory.
Yeah, I know. So, but the thing is it's just, because I think a lot of guys, as we know, there's this one side to it. There's the guys like myself who, like, as I said again, I am a typical crap of criminal. I love you, ladies. It's just something about y'all. It excites me. And there's the other guys who say, yeah, this chick trying to be a man. Yeah, real Buffy. But those are the same guys be saying that shit. Be on. I like this shit.
I've heard that quite a bit, especially when I start cutting down. And guys that may have tried to, take me out before is in my DMs like, "Don't cut down anymore," or "I liked you better when you were bigger," or "Why you trying to look like a man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I asked your opinion."
See, right here, folks, I don't see nothing manly about him.
So
Maybe
it's
you're.
kind of it's a little difficult to date someone that's not in the bodybuilding world or that don't really understand it. That's why if I start seeing someone, I'm like, what do you? I pull up. What do you think about this bodybuilding physique? What do you think about the off season physique? What do you think about the sport? Period. Because I need to know if when I start cutting down, you won't start saying negative things. You know?
Yeah, I like this. Off season LA look beautiful, but when y'all compare it to season, there's an old smoke saying, "We LA's rock hard, we're rock hard." But that's everybody has a different taste when, especially look
Yeah.
at it. Shout out to my man KL. He says this. He says he says, he just wants to say that at the time, yes, because you know what, I'm good at what I do. So, folks, instead again, we're going to jump into a social media for a little bit, and if you want to follow the links description, but guys, be respectful. So here we are, and there we go. And here she is. And this is, I think, you competed last year.
Yes.
And this was one of your shows. This was a regional show that you did. And that was in
The first picture.
yeah.
Yes, that was the DC Pro Am. So funny story, we always show the good of bodybuilding, right? Because that's what we want social media to see. So, and I was just talking to one of my teammates about that. Actually that week I had, like, I don't know what was going on with my body. I kept having panic attacks. My heart was really, really racing. So at the DC Pro Am, I didn't have bring in my best physique that I know that I could have because of health issues that I was having throughout the week. But all you see on stage, you see the smiles.
Yeah. And I see these
I got
lovely
up there. I
ladies.
did what I was supposed to do. I don't think I looked too bad, but I certainly could have looked better. But it just goes to show there's so many obstacles leading up to our shows that we don't really showcase. Like we always show the good, but there behind the scenes, sometimes we are struggling with some real things.
Yeah. I see you hanging out with Method Man. Yeah, I got a lady. She's a friend of mine. She loves meth. She's a big meth fan. And who are these lovely ladies? They are
So
beautiful.
those are some of my friends, some of my teammates.
Uh,
We went to a party in DC and he was there. And we had a
cool.
chance to sit in VIP.
Yeah, yo. You find women always get opportunity. Here she is. You gotta buy spikes, shot put, shoes, cleats, sneakers for a grown man. Feet. So Shawnte got him there at home. Who's the
I
man?
wish it's my 12-year-old son.
Well, he is your man because you know what? It's like this. A boy's best friend is mother. That was my best friend, my mom. You know.
Yeah, he's an amazing kid.
Yeah, he's 12. He's not. He's still growing up. Remember, got beat him down. Got beat him down. Can't let him get too big. Got to put in his place. And she is training. I mean, And you mentioned about your knee. What happened? What's the deal with it?
So I have no clue. I went to the Arnold early part of May, and about 2 days after I came back from the Arnold, my knee swelled up really, really bad. And I've been back and forth to the doctors for like the past month. I've been on crutches. I haven't really been able to train. So when I go to the gym, I've just been, like on the battle ropes and the infinity rope pull just to kind of like get my heart rate up so that my body weight don't go up too much. But mostly I've just been able to work upper body and then work on the ropes as far as cardio. But luckily I got an MRI. There are no tears or anything like that. I'm in PT. So I'm trying to get my knee back together. And we're going to see what happens over the next week or so that maybe I can hop back into prep and hop into a show this year. But today was actually the first day I've been able to walk without crutches in the past month.
Yeah.
So
Here,
that is
here
progress.
she is. Here she's talking about the thing this is a video I got teaching that I saw her about doing.
Stage ain't going nowhere. The stage is not going nowhere. If the judges told you that you need to come in more condition, especially if that means bringing in more muscle, then you need to take the time and the proper off season to build the muscle, especially if you are a natural athlete, because it's going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes it could mean taking an entire year off and not competing at all. If you are injured, now I'm talking about me, so you ain't got to talk about you. If you are injured, take the time to nurse yourself, get back healthy, then you can focus on getting back on stage. Bodybuilding is way too expensive to keep on hopping on stage, looking damn near the same. Now, I get it, we all get that little itch trying to get that pro card, but you ain't gonna never get it if you don't do what you're supposed to do. The stage ain't going nowhere. I don't know who else.
That's a good fair point because I think some people they desire that attention that brings to the stage. Here she is with her man here. He's doing push-ups. There you go, boy. Get down, boy. Teach you what. Get him out there young. Get down, boy. Get up, boy. Get down. Get up. Get down. Yeah, but he's look like he's a healthy young boy. You should be proud of
Yeah,
yourself.
he is. He's an amazing kid.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a process of training, working out, dieting. It can be, and also be a natural part. Now you do OCB, and what got you into OCB?
So I don't really have a specific organization that I want to compete in. It's mainly just OCB and NPC. But I think the very first show that I did was an NPC show, and then I found a coach that was up here. And I talked to my best friend at the time. I said, "Hey, there's a coach a little bit closer to me. It looks like they have like group training classes and stuff like that." And he was like, "Oh yeah, go for it. You know what I'm saying? If you can find some, yeah, that's me injured. That's the only thing that I can do." Sitting on the floor with my busted knee. But I started training with that coach up here, and he had introduced me to OCB. And I did a bikini OCB show in Richmond, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Almost went pro in that show, but I just missed it by a spot. And then a few months later, I did another NPC show, the Baltimore Gladiator. And at that show, I had actually qualified for bikini for nationals for NPC. So I was trying to get ready for that. And then I think the next year is when COVID had hit. And then I got big.
Yeah. COVID was a tough time. That was when my mom, she was already sick dealing with some stuff, and then she got it, and then it went long before she passed. It was a tough year for a lot of people. Here she is. She was at the Arnold just early last month.
Yeah, 2 days before I hurt my knee.
Maybe that's where you hurt your knee.
3, 2, 1.
You strong. What was going through your head doing that?
I was just like, just try to hold on as long as possible. It was 200 pounds on each side. But it was burning my hand. Like, I don't think it was so much the weight, but it was slipping out of my hands and it was starting to burn. So I had to like let it go. I was like, oh my gosh, this burns. I'm good. I think I held on for like a minute and 10 seconds.
That's pretty good. Like I said, you strong. You strong woman. You one of those women back in the day, like my mama and my grandpa used to tell me used to pull behind a mule and have babies in the field and go back the
And
next day.
I wasn't even going to do it. It was just like a random guy that came up to me and he like dared me to do it. I was standing there with one of my friends that drove up with me and he like dared me to do it. I was like, nah, I'm not trying to look crazy. And then after some coercion, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to be careful. Some people get you in some shit you don't want to be into. Here's also
Exactly.
here's also a little. If she's talking,
Definitely gonna have a story attached to it. For like a month and a half, I had just been getting hit back to back with so much crap. And I don't know what the hell is going on because I'm usually pretty healthy. But for me being sick, and I don't know where the hell this knee injury came from. Like my knee is literally swollen. And I've been on so many different medications the past month. Nothing crazy, but some of it is causing me to retain water. At one point my weight shot up and then it shot back down. And it's just it's discouraging. Like I'm up here stalking my friends' pages, trying to stay motivated. Because I feel like I'm letting myself down, and I feel like I'm letting down, people that say that I inspire them, and the people that are, constantly messaging me and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit discouraging, and I'm trying to work through it. Um, but yeah, this prep is definitely going to have a story.
It definitely is.
But I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to focus on my health right now. Luckily, I have a great coach. So he ain't said nothing too crazy. He's like, look, your ass need to get healthy. The doctor's like, your ass need to get healthy. Sit your ass down and come back 100%. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. It doesn't feel right. I'm not the type of person that can sit around, but I go to the gym. I sit my little hind parts on the floor and I do the low infinity rope for my cardio because I can't just not do anything. And I don't need to do too much upper body because they said, my upper body is pretty cool. It's the legs that I need. I can't use my legs. But yeah, this story gonna be something else.
it's an old saying: if it was for bad luck, you have no luck at all.
Yeah. The past couple of months has just been. I've never had bronchitis before, and starting in February, I had bronchitis, and it made it very, very difficult for me to try to work out because I couldn't breathe. And then right after that, when that started getting better, then I had the knee injury. So it's been like 2 months that I haven't been able to consistently work out. So I'm like trying to stay in contact with my coach, like, talking about the show because I was actually supposed to compete next month. And he was just like, yeah, we already know we're going to scratch that show. We're just going to focus on you getting healthy and we'll let the body decide when it's ready to hop on stage.
Yeah, because I know you competed at the Ben Weeder Natural Show. I know a couple ladies, I interviewed them. Sable Stevens, she won women's physique, and also Hannah Marie, who she
I didn't
competed.
compete last year, but I competed the year before last.
Oh, you should come year four last. Okay, yeah, I
Yes.
want to make sure that.
Mhm.
So and that's still there because that gives you enough time if you want to give you time to cover this. Natural's really getting a lot more attention, especially in the IFBB.
Yes.
There's a show in Pittsburgh where it's the Pittsburgh Pro, but it's a natural pro qualifier.
I wanted to do that show so bad this year.
Well, like I said again, it's going to be there next year. If you don't get your pro card
Yeah.
this year, it'll be there next year. Like I said, it's not convenient for you. It's like my man has a question for you. He says this. He says, out of curiosity, where are you from, Shawnte?
I'm from Baltimore.
She's
Born and
from
raised.
Be More.
Mm-hmm.
Be More. Yeah,
Usually when people hear my voice, they're like, I can tell your voice. You're from Baltimore, aren't you?
when I was growing up, because now I'm from North Carolina, and if you hear me talking, where do you think I'm from?
I have no clue. See, I don't know the different areas and accents.
Yeah,
To
but
me,
that's the thing
everybody
is,
almost sounds the same unless you come from like an island or something like that.
yeah,
I
because
don't
when I was
really
coming.
hear accents from the U.S.
Yeah, because when I was coming up, I'm like I said, people ask me, "Where are you from?" Because you sound like you from. Are you from Jersey? Are you from like Chicago? One time I was at this club, and this girl asked me, "Where you from?" And I said, "I'm from Jersey." Actually, I was born in North Carolina. My parents they moved up to Jersey with the rest with us. And then my parents broke up, and then my dad stayed in Jersey. We went down here in North Carolina with my mom. Actually, my parents were married for 55 years. My dad was living in New Jersey, and my mom was down here with us. But he left us here. But yeah, I think dialects talk. My man, he's from New York. The New York guys, you got activity, like New York, New
So
York.
the language is different, but as far as like hearing it in people's voice, I can't really pick up on it.
Well, if you come down here where I'm at, you can tell the difference because, like, when I say fire, and then you hear somebody else around here says fall. And when you say bar, they don't say like bear, they say bar. Like you a bear? You want beer? Say no bar. Say bar. Say what beer? What? It's a beer. Yeah, you can't. So that gets different differences. This is for shout out to my man KL. He says, yes, I could imagine it's tough to be someone who competes and vice versa.
It is. I'm quite sure it is. For the most part, I haven't really like dated or anything like that, or had a lot of like different friends in bodybuilding. I just recently, maybe in like the past year or two, gotten more bodybuilding friends. But before that, I pretty much felt like I was by myself. Outside of my coach, that is, like, our team didn't really like get together or anything like that, or come to like each other's shows and stuff like that, unless they were competing. And I've been competing since 2018. So just in the past year or two, I would say 2 years, I've come into contact with a wonderful group of people that are like so supportive, and like even as far as like just platonic friendships and trying to go through a prep yourself, or your friends going through a prep, or you're in off season and they're in prep, and you got to be mindful of when they got to eat, what they can eat. You can't go out and do certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for friendships as well as relationships.
Yeah, because it's one thing because this sport can take a lot of your time. It's also a sport where it's mentally, emotionally, physically,
Yes.
financially, spiritually draining because you're part of, like, I would say, the 1%. Because bodybuilding is a extreme sport, and the everyday person don't understand it because you need that time to like your friends might, you can be more there. Like, hey girl, we're going to DC, we're going to party, party with Method Man. Say, nah, I can't. I gotta go to sleep at 8 o'clock. I gotta get up in the morning. Say, girl, we gotta say, nah, I can't do that because you need that. The time is valuable for you in your process as you grow and you train. And also the discipline to have to be a
Hmm.
bodybuilder, because most people, like, things like food can be a distraction. And you talk about your coach. Who's your coach and how long y'all been working together?
So I just joined Game Time Fitness, Coach B. He's in Capitol Heights. I just joined his team in August. So it hasn't even been a full year that I've been with Game Time Fitness. So he's a wonderful coach though. Like, I thought he was going to be like a little military guy,
Like,
like super super strict. Because I hear he
see.
runs a strict program. I hear he runs a strict program. I'm like, you know what? I need that. I need that push. I need somebody that's not going to take no crap off of me. That's not going to let me do what I want, say what I want, and walk over top of them. It's going to be like, no, this is what you need to do, else your ass is off the team. But he has been absolutely amazing with helping me grow, as well as being mindful of the illnesses that I've been going through over the past couple of months.
Yeah, that's good that you don't want a coach to be too soft, but you want a coach to be too hard. What you
Exactly.
want is, like, one of my favorite movies is always gonna be the Rocky movies. And like, you want Mickey saying, like, rock, when you're falling down, you hear that little angel on your on your shoulder, get up, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Mickey
and
Rock.
I love that he's like so straightforward. I don't like the coaches that tell their athletes just any old thing just to either get their money or just to get them on stage. When I step on stage, I want to look the best that I could possibly look when I step on stage, not just oh, go ahead and just do the show. I don't want that. I want somebody to look at me and be like, damn, that's the same girl from last year. Like, there's no way she made that type of progress. Like, yes, that is the type of coach that I want. Not someone that's just going to throw me up on stage looking any old kind of way, or what. I need someone that's going to be real. Like, look, you're not ready. We reverse out. We gotta do some more growing. That's what I need. I don't want somebody that's going to be soft. Like, oh yeah, we can go ahead and still do the show just because you want to take my money. No, because realistically, coaches, this is your name that you're putting on stage. When we tag out coaches and things like that, you don't want other athletes or other coaches like he really let that get on stage, and I don't want to get on stage looking like I did at my first show.
Yeah. We got a comment from man. KA says this. He says, Meth be working out. He could almost compete. Maybe he can afford it. He can do it if you afford it. Also, he says that's good. He's doing push-ups at at his age. How old is he now? She says he's 12.
Mhm.
And also he says this. Shout out to my man. He says, "What's a workout that intimidates you? If I could ask you that question."
Um, none.
Not
No,
scared.
no workout intimidates me.
Not
I
scared.
welcome
Not
it.
never scared.
I welcome it. Let's go. If I gotta
You
throw up afterwards, I'll throw up afterwards. No workout intimidates me. I thrive off of that. I might look at you crazy when you first tell me, but you best believe I'm going to try it. I love it. Like I was a tomboy growing up. I am not a girly girl. Yes, I might have a couple of pictures where I look a little dainty, but I I have been a tomboy my entire life. I've been an athlete my entire life. I'm going to get down and dirty. I will get through the mud.
Well, from my experience, tom girls, y'all tomboys, y'all become pretty women. I mean,
Thank you.
and
Appreciate
and as
it.
my other guy would say, he would say this to you. He says, "I will tell you, Shawnte, you are beautiful." And that thing is that bodybuilding brings some healthy aspects to it: the dieting, the training. I know quite the average bodybuilders, the workouts. I think some ladies will say the least favorite is always going to be leg day, and as a wellness competitor, leg day that's your bread and butter. I know
Mhm.
it's like leg day is like remember the episode of I know Kayla maybe repeating it because this is one of my favorite episodes on Chappelle's show when Dave Chappelle's playing Rick James and they meet, Charlie Murphy is True Hollywood Stories. Charlie Murphy, and they meet him and they invite him over to Eddie's house. Remember the first F your couch, Eddie Murphy, F your couch. Leg day for a bodybuilder is like when Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy are beating your legs. You're cold as ice. You never get y'all niggas money. You crawl out of the gym and you're crying. But for wellness
I
competitors,
love it.
you gotta love it because you know what?
I
That's the
love
thing
it.
is, I know everybody.
If I'm struggling to walk out the gym, I say, oh yeah, I killed that workout.
That's
I
that means you.
absolutely love it.
It's a quote from another classic movie. It was a good day and no one died.
And I never used to like upper body. I actually like upper body now. When I finally started seeing my arms take shape, I was like, I like that. And other people started noticing too. I'm like, okay, so I can do a full body workout.
Yeah, you got guys who say like, "Hey, Shawnte, you need a massage therapist, to work the shoulders there a little bit,
And I think the arms for the women, I think the arms is would be the most turn off for the guys that aren't into bodybuilding or aren't into fitness because it's like, why your arms look so hard? And I'm
It's
like, why are you
intimidating.
mad? Because my arm's bigger than yours.
It's because I'm a man. I used to have some muscles here somewhere, I used to,
They're
but
still
that
there, trust me.
yeah, they're behind under this too. But I think that I think we go back to how the idea what supposed to be. Your division is very feminine, but even I'm looking girls right now in wellness who are diesel as hell. You
Hmm.
know, look at women in other divisions where it has evolved over time. It's evolution. When I was into bodybuilding, you had women like Corey Everson, Bev Francis, then Linda Murray, and then particularly as I talked about earlier, Andrea Shaw. I got to give a shout out to Andrea, and also, Bad Rap. That is my friend's brand, Jolene and Eunice. They are known as the Bad Rap. As the moniker is big and defined, ripped and pumped, and we like the rip part. And a while back, this is what keeps me. This is what fuels me as a content maker, especially because people don't like the people pay attention to the guys more.
Hmm.
The guys they get more attention because if you go to the pimping game, you're in Baltimore, you know about the pimping game, where the guys are the bottom bitch. They're the ones who get the attention, they get the money, get the opportunities. The women, y'all get short change. And my friend Eunice, she was at Olympia back in 2023. I always want to bring this out because to quote my other half, he says, "Whenever you're good at something, never do it for free." And to me, this is a payment. I always want to bring this out. This is what keeps me going when someone like Andrea Shaw, my friend, she ran into Andrea and she this issue of muscle development. And this is something I love to spring out anytime I interviews to tell people that know that who I am.
Hmm.
She saw Andrea and she sent it to me just a week after my birthday. And what makes it so special, what as a content maker will fuel me, because sometimes dealing with y'all women is a headache. I worked textiles with women. I worked in strip club with women. Y'all women are aggravating. If it wasn't for the fact that we wanted you, we wouldn't do without you. We do out women, but we can't. But when the champion tells me she appreciates what I do and she loves my support,
Mm,
that is fuel for me, and I
I,
really genuinely like that.
I
Is
love
it?
it.
Yeah. Is there anybody in the sport that you're a fan of, that you admire their physique, their work ethic, just overall as an athlete?
This might sound cliche, but I would say Sydney. I've met her a couple of times, and when I say she will stand there and have a conversation with everyone as if you've known her your entire life, she is absolutely amazing. She is such a sweetheart. Like you would think, like some people when they get to a certain status, they get uptight, they put themselves on a pedestal. She does not do that. It's like, oh, the first 5 minutes you feel like that's your girlfriend for years. She's like so down to earth. And I know saying her name is like so cliche, but she is just so sweet. Like she's just it's just amazing. It's amazing to see someone of her stature and you to, have a conversation with me, an amateur bodybuilder, where some people might just like maybe take a quick picture and brush me off. She doesn't do that. At the Arnold, she stood right there and had a full conversation with me as if I knew who she was. I
That's good.
absolutely love her.
I remember, well, I went to Tampa last year and I met a couple of ladies. I met quite a few ladies. Some ladies I interviewed and some ladies who are Olympic level competitors. I met Ashley Jones last year and she gave
Mm.
me a shout out. Look at me. I look like a big bear attacking a little baby. And, she gave me a shout out. And I
Look at
met,
her arms.
yes, yeah. I met Shawnte Hitton, this is my friend Eunice. And I got to meet a legend of rock and roll while I was hanging with her at the Bad Rap booth. That's Daily Roth between us. That is a legend. I mean, I wouldn't even, this is for me. I I really enjoyed the experience when I went to my first show back in 2022, and I met Alina Popa. I met Sheena Oleg, who I interviewed a while back. I met a couple ladies who I did interviews with, and ladies I follow on social media, and talk to you ladies and hear your stories. It's just, as a fan, I really respect who you are. But also, I have the other part of me. I have to say that I think y'all ladies are just enticing, and they're just, your muscles excite us, and we try to, I try to calm my other side of me,
Well,
the other guy
that
of
is
me.
so refreshing to hear because I see so many guys comment on, so not even just on my content, but even on other women's content, and they're like so degrading, and I'm just like, you don't have it doesn't have to be your cup of tea, but you don't have to disrespect women, who aspire to look a certain way just because we want a little bit more muscle, and that's not what you like. If you like the softer women, go for the softer women, but you don't have to degrade us that want to have that muscular physique. So this is like so refreshing to hear.
Well, because I think, like, again, I worked in a textile factory for 13 years. I worked around women, different type of women, big, tall, small. I worked in a strip club for 3 or 4 years, and those women are a different level. I've seen women who are, who look like, and it's just, I like I said again, I grew up with my mother, three older sisters. Really, I have a love and also respect for women, also a little bit of hate, so because y'all can be aggravating. We as men, we spend our lives, we spend 9 months in you, try to get back into you again, and that's the rest of our lives. But when I started doing this content, because I was taking care of my mom. She was sick for quite a long time, and this helped me with my mindset. And then also when she was gone, I didn't have anything, because at one point I was almost 500 pounds, and then I decided I need to take care of myself now. I'm down a little bit under 400 pounds. I can't do as much because I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got I got this pacemaker, but it's been keeping me going for the past 12 years. And reaching out with ladies like yourself, I would love to have Andrea on here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but
We're gonna
try
throw
to
that into the universe.
yeah, I would love to have her, but I would love to talk to women like yourself who have a passion, who have desires, who really are about their evolution as an athlete. We have here, shout out to my man KL, sticking in here, we just says, she almost sounds like Tiffany Haddish.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Take it as it is. Also, he says this. He says, platonic friendships with a guy. Okay, LOL. Yeah, because you know what? He's not. He don't believe in that. Sometimes if there's nothing, like I've talked to guys who say I knew this one guy. He was working with a lady who was a bodybuilder. They were friends. They were like he approached her about maybe have a relationship, but he wasn't her type. And the thing is, it has to be about mutual physical attraction. If it's going to be like one sided, it's no point you being in love with somebody and not returning that love. It can't be a one-way
Yeah,
street.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So as you know, dealing with injuries, stuff like that, it's tough. And and also being a mother. And what do you do for a living? Because you take care of your baby.
So I am a medical records technician at NIH for a longitudinal research study.
So you're a secretary.
No,
Okay.
my formal title is patient research coordinator. But I work in medical records, so it's pretty much just me locked in a room with a bunch of medical records. And I pretty much just facilitate sending the records out to the physician on our mobile research vehicles and stuff like that, making sure the patients get their labs packets and things like that.
So like I said, you're a secretary.
Definitely not a secretary because I ain't asked for no phones or none of that.
Well, that's how. But yeah, that's what got you into that? Is it just
It pays the
a
bills.
living? Yeah, it pays. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it pays the bills, but both of my degrees are in healthcare, so that kind of fell into my lap.
yeah. Well, like I said, I know quite a few ladies who are in the medical field, nurses, practitioners. I even a couple of ladies who are doctors. Different type of doctorates. I mean, that helps also as a bodybuilder because you get to learn about the body. You also get to learn the backgrounds of it. There's so many different things. Certain jobs really connects, especially try to find time because training. Like, what's the day for you for training, especially before the knee injury?
So when I'm healthy, I have a treadmill in my basement. So most mornings I'll get up, I'll go down in the basement, try to do at least a half an hour on the treadmill. I have a TV downstairs that I like to make the time pass because I hate walking on the treadmill. I'd rather go outside. But in the wintertime, I'm not going out there. It's too cold. So I'll do my fasted cardio in the morning, whether it's walking or jogging or even intervals downstairs on the treadmill. Of course, go to work. And I usually do my lifting while my son is in aftercare in one of his aftercare programs, and then I got to go to track practice because I'm also a track coach now. So most days I'm out of the house by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not getting back in the house till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I know that's a lot.
And of course I got to make sure I got all my meals for the day.
That's most important. Because one thing I learned that one thing about building the body is not just in the gym, it's also in the kitchen. Consistent diet, certain things, high protein, low fats, counting your macros. There's so much involved in it. It's tough because today I had a chicken sandwich, and a hot dog.
Oh, so just brag, why don't you?
Yes, yeah. I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't have. But I don't eat a lot of. I try to eat a little smarter. Like I had some sausage, chicken sausage with peppers and onions and a little mashed potatoes, some greens. I try to be smart, but also again, I do have particular things that, especially the sweets. They be calling me, man. I'd be like Cookie New Jack City, man. Be calling me.
I know. I be struggling in prep. I be struggling. Chocolate chip cookies are like my kryptonite.
Oh yeah, I mean, I tell you, I just like a nice, especially. I like to ask you this question: what was that, especially your last competition? What was that thing that was calling you? That thing that you desired the most?
Cheesecake. After every show, I need a slice of cheesecake.
I've never been a cheesecake
Every
person.
single show. If my show is away, before I get on the road to drive up to my show for check-ins and all of that, I will stop somewhere and get me a slice of cheesecake, and it is going on the road with me. So when I step off a stage, I am eating that cheesecake every single show.
I've never been a cheesecake person. I remember a while back. I remember a while back. My great niece, she's in high school, and she was doing some thing. They were selling fruits and cheesecake. I said, "Nah, I like to have a pound cake. If you don't have cheesecake, give me a pound cake." I mean, I gotta have that. I don't know about cheesecake, but that's the thing is, everybody has those things that really that they desire. But that's the thing is that you have to find control, especially this is Easter weekend, and like your family, are they traditionally very supportive of your especially you was in track for a long time? What their thoughts as the girl being a
But with
bodybuilder?
track, I ate what I wanted when I ran track. We didn't track out food or anything like that when I ran track. It's the bodybuilding, but my family is extremely supportive of me and body. Like if they know I'm in prep and they see me trying to like sneak just a little piece of something, they will snatch it from me. Ain't you in prep? I really want to say that ain't you supposed to be minding your business,
Not to your mama.
but
Hell
they
no.
are extreme. If I have a show out of state, they will get my son from school and keep him for the weekend until I come back. Like I've never had any issues, but it's them helping me pay for a show because most of my shows I'm kind of away, so they haven't really been able to see me on stage. I think the first show that they came to was last year when I did OCB Conquer, and I had my sisters and my dad there, so that was definitely a real treat. They are so embarrassing. My twin sister had a sign.
You got another one like you?
Well, we don't look alike. She's definitely not into bodybuilding, but well, we look alike a little bit. She's darker than me. She's a little bit bigger than me. Not like super big or anything like that, but she has a little bit more up top. She got a lot more up top than I do. But they are she had made a sign, and my older sister, like she was oh Lord, she was the loudest one. When they called me for first place in my height class, she was the loudest one. I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But I loved it
Oh.
at the same time. I loved it at the same time. My dad came too. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know. I never had children of my own, and being, I did, in my life, my nieces and nephews. I was kind of a uncle, father figure, somewhat sometimes. But yeah, it's great. We want to see our children do something that may be successful. That want to be happy in what they do. And I know his dad saying, "That's my baby, that's my girl," and there's some guy sitting outside say, "Yeah, she's a nice, cute little red bone with a fat booty. Hey, watch your mouth, watch your
Well,
mouth."
my dad is like very expressive, but he'll be like, did you pay for everything? You got everything that you need?" He'll pay for something quick. Like
You like I said,
you would think I was still under 18. The way my dad like really supports me, he be like, you got everything. Like you know what I'm saying? Is your room paid for? Is everything? Listen, whatever I need, that man got me. You feel me?
that's and
If I'm
that
like,
is
Dad, I'm just a couple $100 short on paying for the show. I really, really want to do the show. Even if he can't physically be there, oh, he gonna send me the money.
yeah, that's good because you know what, I've talked to ladies where they're especially where they get into sport very seriously and their family saying like, "You look so thin, like because you look
Yeah,
so you're not eating enough, I don't want you to get so muscular you can't get a man," or
I've heard that a lot. I've heard that, but
or
I've never had that issue with my family. When they found out about bodybuilding, they just anything that I do, they're extremely supportive. Like I said, helping me with my son, helping me pay for the shows. I think one show that I did in Pennsylvania, I was having issues with my car and I didn't want to drive. It was like a 4-hour drive and I didn't want to drive my car all the way to Pennsylvania. My sister swapped cars with me. She took my car for the weekend and let me drive hers all the way up to Pennsylvania.
It's good. It's good to have that support because you know what, I've had talked to ladies where when they get to bodybuilding seriously, their friends, their family don't stand. I remember a couple ladies told me that they were married and they got divorced because their husband didn't like the idea they were putting muscle.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
hear so many stories. There are some bodybuilding support groups on Facebook, and I see so many stories of women, and their spouses are not supportive of bodybuilding because they see it as a sexual sport. Yes, we're on stage in these little teeny bikinis with our behinds out. I get it; it can be sexualized, but that's not why we're on stage. There is an art to bodybuilding. It is an art to sculpting your body to look a certain way. And I think a lot of people miss that and they just say, oh, her butt is out. But you're not saying, oh, look what she did to her butt. Look what she did to her legs. You know what I mean? And I just think a lot of people miss that part.
and the thing is, it's easy to sexualize something like this because yes, you are like for us out there in audience, we see these amazing bodies in shape, covered in tan, oil, walking around. And as you know, there's a community we call us Smos, and we do get a little tickle to pickle when y'all see ladies like that. But then you have to look at the artistry of it, the
Yes.
movement, the sway, how the body develops. You
Yes. The
know,
posing, the fluency of it. It's all art.
yeah, and then that's the thing is, and then people got to remember this: to get to that level, is you got to remember the training, the rest, the recovering. Then show day, that's the toughest day. Where
Hmm.
for you competitors, because you're probably at your weakness because you're tired, you're
Yes.
dehydrated. You know, you've been up. Sometimes you may not because you're, especially if you look at divisions like divisions like where there are more muscle size, like men's classic, men's open, the women's bodybuilders, the physique fit competitors, their skin is paper thin because
Yeah.
they come in certain conditioning, and then that can be it'd be hard for them to sleep. And again, the cost of being a competitor, as you talk about, it's good that your dad supports you, but I know somebody said they have to sometimes the old saying they have to steal Peter to pay Paul because for the guys, show day for them, all you gotta do is put on a pair of banana hammers and board shorts and tan. That's it. For you ladies, you have to have your hair done. You have to have your makeup. You're wearing high heels, your suits right there. That's a car note, that's a rent, that's a mortgage. I mean, I mean, it's expensive show day for women compared to
Yes.
men.
I did.
Yeah. And it's just you have to sometimes have to really be smart. Like again, you have to for you be an amateur, you have to pay registration fee.
Hmm.
Some competitors will double dip. They would do two divisions because they don't want to miss the opportunity. Let me do
Yeah.
bikini, I can do wellness. Let me do physique. Let me do figure. Let me do this division show. I can maybe see which one fits best for me. And you said the last time from the feedback from the judges because you need to be more full in your quads, more
Mhm.
size. Everything else is good, but just that you need more size in your quads.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, my thing is it's just the evolution of every athlete when they get into sport and understanding what's involved with it. As again, us from the outside would never understand that because we wouldn't want to like sacrifice those cookies and those cakes,
I know. I
and
know.
then the discipline going to the gym, like, and you say you have no fear, but which is your favorite when you hit that gym, when you're able to hit the gym, which is your favorite?
My favorite exercise,
Mhm.
I would say leg extensions now. I would definitely say the leg extensions. Because my coach is like, okay, turn your feet out, turn your feet in, turn your feet down, turn your feet out.
Do the hokey pokey
So that I
and
can
turn
hit
yourself
all
around.
four quad muscles.
Because that's the thing is you want to work on that weakness to make it everything come together, bring that
Yeah.
great look and presentation. You want that great fullness in your quads. You want that great connection with your hamstrings and
Hmm.
your tie-ins. You want that overall perfect symmetry and look. Not perfect, but at the best is what you can get. Because some
Yeah.
competitors, genetics is a good thing. Others, it's hard work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I tell people like, because people like, are you like the question that I got earlier? Do I feel like that my quads can grow? Yes, I feel like my quads can grow. I think one of my best assets has always been my legs. Again, from me being a sprinter my entire life, it's kind of easy for me to put muscle, but like I said, I had to get the muscle off for bikini, and now I'm trying to put it right back on. But I lost my train of thought. But I love training legs, and I think I remember what I was about to say now. My strong suit in being my legs. Like I see so many, especially African American competitors, where their legs are their weak point, and I say that to say like they could look great from the side. They could look great in their front pose, but as soon as they hit the back pose, you know what they say? You win from the back. As soon as
Hmm.
they hit the back pole, it's like you can still see that body fat on their glutes and in their hamstrings. You still see that body fat for where for me, I don't have that issue. Like for me, you can see the muscle. I don't know why. It's just that's just always been one of my strong suits. But I can see the muscles from the side. I can see the muscles from the front. Barely because I need more quads. But when I hit that back pose and the booty sit up and the hamstrings are popping, that has always been one of my strong suits. Whereas some other competitors, it's still like, she still look like she got a little bit of body fat there. She needs to come in a little bit more conditioned. Whereas for me, it's you need more size.
Yeah.
That was my feedback of just about every single show that I did last year. You need more size. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go get this more size.
Yeah, especially for black women, y'all are more and more, more. genetically blessed in the back.
Yeah.
And it does take a lot more time to trim it down to a certain level. Where that's why I think that's why the Brazilians do so well, because they do have those Afro aesthetics, but also those other aesthetics. It's just
Hmm.
that's why they're so dominant. And that's the thing is, genetics is a factor. But hard work can beat genetics if you
Hmm.
are putting the time to train, to be consistent, to understand all the factors. It's just not just simply just jumping into the gym and lifting weights and doing this or popping steroids. You have to be knowledgeable. Like your
Yes.
posing coach is your coach do your posing too, or somebody else does your posing?
No, someone else does my posing. I just recently started with a new posing coach. She's one of my very, very good friends. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good because you remember the first time we do bikini, you were very bad posing because you're like doing hokey pokey and stuff like that. But
that first show.
that's the important aspect because you want every little thing to help you become a better
Yeah.
competitor over time. And also this sport is, I said again, it can be a lot for anybody because the mental aspects of it, the diet, the prep. Sometimes we talk about this on my channel. We have a live every so often. It's my podcast called Most Talk Mondays. We talk about stuff like dealing with the effects of body dysmorphia as a bodybuilder, the post-show blues.
Hmm.
Some would say because you get those gains, you look great, but then off season starts and you don't look as we say rock hard compared to when
And
you're
I
off
think
season.
that's where a lot of people mess themselves up. And they start bad mouthing bodybuilding, saying that bodybuilding gave them body dysmorphia. And I'm like, you got into the sport because you wanted to look stage ready, but you thought you were going to look stage ready for the rest of your life. That's not sustainable. That's not why you get into bodybuilding. I think I might have did a post about this some time ago. That's not why you get into bodybuilding. And I tell people, even regular people, go through a bodybuilding prep. You don't have to step on stage, but go through a bodybuilding prep because it gives you so much discipline that you can apply to different areas of your life. Not even just like as far as eating, but if you have a set goal, whether it's financial, whether it's work, anything, and you go through that discipline of a bodybuilding prep, there's absolutely nothing that you cannot do. There's nothing that you won't sacrifice for. It's one of
Hmm.
the hardest things that I have ever done. And I've never gotten body dysmorphia from bodybuilding. If anything, it's increased my confidence. It really, I don't care whether I'm in the off season or whether I'm actually in prep with stage lean. It has increased my confidence so much. I used to be like, oh man, look at I hate my stomach. And now I'm just like, man, it's just a little bit of belly. I already know I can get rid of that when I feel like it. I'm still gonna put this crop top on. But that's because I don't expect myself to be stage lean all year round because number one, we all know that that's not healthy and it's not sustainable. So I think
Hmm.
that's where some people go wrong and they get body dysmorphia and they start telling people don't go into bodybuilding. Y'all are going into it for the wrong reasons. You think you're going to get money from it. You think
No.
you're going to look a certain way for the rest of your life, and that's just not what it's going to be.
Yeah, because I talk about bodybuilding is not a lucrative, sport compared to like
At all.
if you kept on doing track,
You're going to spend more than you make.
if you kept competing as a track competitor and hit till even if you're not Olympic level competitor, you can still make a living from it.
Hmm.
But because this is why it seems more as a hobby because you put more money into it to get out of it. You can be only a lucky few can make a living off of those people like Andrea, guys like Chris Seba, Sid.
Hmm.
Just saw that Andrew Jack, who won the Olympia and also the UK Olympia, that guy walked away with at least $1 million.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like this. I know that's on the show. And Arnold, I used to watch his movies and get to the chopper. I'm just not a fan of how he pushes. I just interviewed a young lady. Her name is Brittany. She got a pro card in figure at the Arnold Amateur Show. But you don't have her division, or they have wellness there, and they have fitness, and they have bikini. But you don't give those other women, the other divisions, especially the architect divisions, women's bodybuilding, the
Yeah.
opportunity, because I think like that's why I'm a fan of one gentleman. He runs the Olympia. That's Jake Wood. I got to do it time I say his name. Yo, Jake. I want that money. I want that money. I can't help it. Every time I say his name, and he runs the Olympia where he still have those divisions. Everybody has opportunity, but then again, also you know Andrea and Rhea and those women in those divisions
Yep.
don't get a good chunk of pay compared to because I said again, the men's division is going to be the bottom bitch. Yeah, they're going to
Hmm.
make
Yep.
the money. And that's the thing. I wish there was more. I won't say financial equality, but at least let them get a little something where it's worth their while.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, but the thing is that other ladies that tell me they don't do it for the money, do it for the love of it. This is a sport that some ladies that it saved their lives. So some ladies were dealing with either some mental issues like yourself, being an athlete, and you needed something to still give you that fuel for your fire as an athlete. Ladies who were dealing with abuse. Ladies went through a couple ladies I interviewed a while back. They're cancer survivors, and
Mm.
this sport something helped them in this, with their healing with cancer. Everybody finds something in this sport. And me as a fan, when reach out to women like yourself and share your stories and want people to be knowledgeable about that it's just not about these pumping steroids and be like and be jacked. There's so much to it.
Yeah, yeah. As like I used to have anxiety and depression, you know what I'm saying? And bodybuilding really helped with that. And people don't understand. Like I said, it's not about, hopping into a sport to try to make any money or get certain recognition. Sometimes it's just like something to occupy your mind. And like I said, I've met so many wonderful people in the sport over the last few years. And they're extremely supportive. And it's like it feels like you've known them your entire lives. Like even when I go to a show and men and women, I don't even know them, and we're talking backstage as if we're friends. Like I don't even know your name yet. we're laughing and talking about what we're going to eat after the show, and we're taking pictures and swapping Instagrams and things like that. Like it's just it really lifts your spirits, and it's like the strangers become your family so fast. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's like a band of brothers and sisters. They're not.
And-
You don't have the same mother or same father, but you come together because you have this common knowledge of something. You have form a family or a bond or brotherhood, sisterhood.
Exactly.
And that's good important because you know what, it can be very competitive. If you follow recently an issue with the current Miss Physique champion, the former Miss Physique champion, that is.
I, I saw.
I mean,
I saw.
yeah,
I think we all saw that.
that's that one of the few bad situations. But generally, also you remember you went to at Arnold with that situation with that guy. I forgot his name, and Nick Walker, and he's getting,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
bad sportsmanship. But sometimes it's very competitive nature, this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I'm about to hit the stage, it's almost like I'm back on the track, about to run my favorite race, the 100 meters, and I just get tunnel vision. Like yeah, when I'm backstage, I'm laughing, I'm talking, but when we're about to hit those steps, I am tunnel vision. I'm trying to focus on my routine. I'm trying to focus on not being nervous, just executing everything the way that I'm supposed to. And but when I step back off stage, oh, we can be friends. But when I'm about to hit those steps, it's like, girl, I'm about to kick your behind. We can talk.
Yeah, I do content interviews with ladies in mixed martial arts, in combat sports, and I watch fights sometimes. I see these ladies go bow, 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 and then the fight's over. They're shaking hands and hug each other. I couldn't do that. Hell,
Yeah.
we spent like about 15 minutes whipping each other's ass, and you want to hug and kiss. I mean,
Yeah. Like the Clarissa Shields, and I forgot the other lady's name. The
uh,
boxing fight that just
fresh,
happened.
fresh on, Dixon,
Yeah.
they've been
They were
friends.
going at it, and then
They're
at the end
friends.
of the fight, they're hugging.
Yeah, because that's very professional. I've seen some
Yeah.
fighters don't. There's some different stories where some fighters don't get along, not like each other. But then there's some fighters that do have that mutual respect, and
Mhm.
it's a passion for being a fighter. And I gotta give to anybody who gets in there and have somebody kick you, hit you in the head, in your face. I couldn't do it. I mean, if you were fighting to save my life, yes, but not even though I might get paid for it, but then I'll be in the hospital. I'll be like,
Yeah.
but yeah, everybody finds something in this sport that gives them that passion, that fuel,
Mhm.
and you gotta respect it. Again, those people out there who hate. I'm a quote from my favorite comedian Bernie Mac said, "Boy, if people don't like you, fuck them.
Exactly.
Fuck against the
Exactly.
wall with clean through the lips, handcuffs." So that's what you do,
Exactly.
because this is not about you, sir.
Mhm.
If you can't look at this woman who's a beautiful woman and say this is an attractive woman, you see little muscles and you say like, I got this little plain little arms, and you got these big muscles. I just hate you. That's something wrong with you as a man.
Exactly.
And man, I'm a Southern gentleman. I know when a lady is, like I got my man Doc Holliday. Daisy if you do, Daisy if you don't. But I ain't no Daisy. Yeah. But that thing is, you have to be a lot of mutual respect of who you are as a person, as an athlete, as a woman. You got a kid you got to raise, like, especially being a woman, being a bodybuilder, raising children and raising, having a family. I know he's little man. He's a preteen. I know around the house you have to cook your way and cook for him, and that's always because he's not gonna eat mom's chicken and rice. And he's like, Mom,
So
I want you.
actually, he's slowly starting to eat what I eat. Cause my son is a big guy. He's a big guy, but he plays sport. He's run track for like the past 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. He's actually going to start flag football next month. So he's very athletic. I'm sorry, no, flag football starts this month.
Oh,
Lord,
time
but he's
flies.
actually very athletic. But he's also a big guy. But I'm teaching him about protein and things like that because I'm like, I know if I take him to the doctors are going to be like, all right, now what's going on? So he'll ask me, how much protein is in this? And I'm like, you're 12, you're asking me about protein, but okay, let me go ahead and tell you. But some meals he'll eat. If I put depending on how I cook, if I put salmon on the grill, oh, he'll tear it up. Chicken breast, he'll tear it up. So he's slowly starting to eat the same things that I eat. Like I'm not gonna have him do as drastic as I do. But I'm definitely teaching him how to eat healthier. I'll say that, yeah.
That's what thing. Teach how young, because I grew up in the South, and my mom, she had to raise me, my brothers and sisters, and you have to find whatever that is more within reason on a budget, especially when feeding a family. Eating healthy is can be very expensive, but it's good in the long run because you learn better ways of eating, better ways of practicing. You learn certain things that help you. Because one thing about bodybuilding, I've interviewed ladies who are in their 40s and 50s, ladies in their 60s. One of the interviews, her name is Rebecca Riddy. She's in her 70s. She's a pro, but she doesn't compete anymore. She retired a couple of years ago, and
Hmm.
it can really help sustain your life. Again, you can't stay that muscly, ripped, and vascular all year round, but it does help you in your developing muscles. Like I follow ladies on social media, we talk about muscle helps in your recovery. It helps
Yeah.
your body. It gives you, like I said, it just gives you a better way of living.
Hmm. And even with his events, like he's mostly a thrower. Like he throws shot put, he throws discus. So I realized when he doesn't eat, he throws terribly. So I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna take some of this bodybuilding knowledge and I'm going to apply it to him in his track and field events. So I'm like, on that way to a track meet, you need to be eating some oatmeal or something. 20-30 minutes before he throws, oh, we need some fast acting carbs and we need to go ahead and get you pumped up for these throws so the muscle can flow into your arms and it works every time. He PRs every single time I do that. But if he's just getting to a track meet and his event is like 8 o'clock in the morning, he hasn't had time to eat or anything, oh, he does terrible. He does terrible. But when I implement those small like bodybuilding things as far as like pumping up and things like that, it works. It works. He's learning that. He be like, do
Yeah.
I now he'll be like, do I eat this now? Yeah, go ahead and eat that. You should be throwing in the next 20-30 minutes, which is what we do before we hit the stage. It's like, okay, I got maybe about 15-20 minutes before I hit the stage. Let me start pumping up. Eat this Reese's or whatever the coach have you eating or whatever, and start pumping up and get these carbs into your bloodstream.
Yeah, it's important that you want to. Food is both a tool and weapon for a bodybuilder. It helps you build up, but the right food can hurt you. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing is you have to understand that again, we go back that the kitchen is like maybe 67% of your process of bodybuilding. The gym is like a good 30, and everything rest between is rest, recovery,
Mm-hmm.
getting massages to help with your muscles because muscles can get tight. All those things that is very important as a bodybuilder in your process, and also understanding how far you want to go, what you're comfortable with. Again, you are a natural competitor and you're comfortable where you are at. Not everybody. Some competitors will say, hey, don't jump in and start taking this or that. Do it naturally first, see how you do, and then we hit that level, we feel like, what, I want to grow more. Get
And
somebody
I
who
think that should
understands.
be the standard. But I was in the gym one time and there was this guy, he was only 18 years old and he had already started taking PEDs. He wasn't an aspiring bodybuilder. He just wanted to get bigger. And I don't even know how we got on the subject. He just blurted it out and told me. And in my head, I'm like, you didn't even try. You're only 18 years old. And again, there's nothing wrong with people that takes PEDs. I don't judge anyone. But for you to be that young and just hop right to it without seeing what your body can do naturally first. And then maybe down the line and say, okay, I think I want to do a little bit more. I want to push a little bit further. Let me look into X, Y, and Z. But to just jump out there before you even old enough to drink is just insane.
That's the problem with a lot of young people. How Jerome was saying, they're too much wet behind the ears, and the breath smell like Similac. You know, Jerome
Not
in the
Jerome.
house. Yeah, the episode with Cole. So you're wet behind ears, breath. Because I think with young people, they want everything quick, fast, in a hurry, but it doesn't work
Yeah.
that way. It
Yeah.
takes time. Like I look at ladies right now who are this weekend. Ladies are competing in women's bodybuilding who have been competing for years, and it's that muscle maturity.
Mhm.
You start out as a baby, and then you grow and you evolve, and then you look like this amazing hunk of beef.
Yeah.
It takes that time. You have to be the patient. That's what comes in to be consistent, to be patient, to be determined, to be persistent, and be disciplined. Because if you're not, you're gonna burn out quick. He's 18
Exactly.
now. He's gonna look like he's 30 by the time he's 21.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't think a lot of them realize that. Like you putting your body through way too much, way too soon. And I feel like at that age you might be self-medicating. I feel like you might be getting it from somewhere. You're just taking things and you're not, doing it the responsible way. And I think that's my main concern with PEDs. I know a lot of pros, they probably, go the right route. But for the young people, I would question where are you getting it from and you know what I'm saying? Just how are you using it? That's just my main concern with them starting off so young with these.
I think one thing is also a lot of kids grow up on this social media. They look at these social media influence. I think I was talking with some ladies where they say where we were at the Arnold that there was more people in the line for social media influencers than it was for the actual bodybuilders because
Mm,
they're out there. And that's one thing I talk about this also. So they say, ladies, you need to be more social media active. Be willing to teach. Do a seminar. Sit and talk with these competitors. Be willing to take the time out because sometimes these ladies will tell me I'm introverted. I'm telling you like this. You can go on a stage halfway butt naked. You're not introverted. You just don't want to really.
so for me to talk to people, I am very in person. That is, I am very introverted. Like my social media personality is completely different from my in person personality. Like I can act a fool all day on social media, do all kinds of videos and things like that. But when I'm in person, oh, don't say nothing to me. I'm very quiet. I'm just observing. I'm not really talking. That's just me. So for me to do like if I were to become a big name later down the line, I don't know how I would do in a meet and greet. It might be a little overstimulating.
Well, I had to learn something because I'm kind of a introvert a bit, but I had to learn to get out my. One thing I had to learn is get out of my own way.
Hmm.
Be able to put yourself out there because if I don't like I do have this character about myself, but also I have pieces of myself and also pieces like that's why I have the other guy. He sometimes he's just a dog chasing cars. He don't want to do anything. He gets one. And before he leaves, he want to tell you again, Shawnte, you are beautiful. And it helps because especially when you make interviews, because sometimes it helps ladies be able to feel comfortable. I have ladies say, I'm nervous, this is my first time. I don't know when I talk. But here, I'm like this. It's like a first date, and I'll be gentle.
So I actually have an alter ego myself. I call her Sasha. I actually have a separate social media page for my modeling pictures. And it's funny because it was a lady at my job that actually gave me the name Sasha because she's like, yeah, at work and you look like this nerd. And I look at your social media page and you just got like Sasha with the bodybuilder and the mom all mixed up into one. And I was like, Sasha, I kind of like that. so I kind of like took on that as like my alter ego. So I transform into Sasha whenever I'm doing like a photo shoot or something like that. Or now, like even when I'm practicing my posing routine, I'm like, okay, Shawnte, become Sasha. You got to become Sasha.
I got multiples. I have the other guy, the Joker. There's my other guy. He is Jon Snow because I like this. When I get information, it's like you remember Game of Thrones with the little birdies. The ravens come and they send information. They're my little birdies. So I'm Jon Snow. And then there's sometimes I can get a little. I can like I love your hate. I'll be Silky Johnson. Call me Silky Johnson. Play hate yeah. Because you know what? You hate use me. Hate that can't hate no more. And then it's also the pervy sage where I started out. He's like, he loves talking to pretty girls like you, Shawnte. But that's the thing that I think helps everybody in their process. especially when you're doing something that's maybe outside of your own normal personal self. It's
Bodybuilding
like,
definitely
yeah,
was.
and
Because I
and for
grew up, I
me,
never even wanted to be on the beach in a bikini. Whenever I, even though I had a track body, whenever I even went to the beach, which is normal for you to wear a bikini, I always wore a tank top and some shorts over it. Every single time.
yeah,
Every
let's say,
single time. So for me to just switch that up and to hop on stage with the full butt out,
but
it's just like, okay, this is different. I gotta try to get comfortable here and do this. And then I don't even care.
it's like Shawnte, do it in the butt, shake it, because you from B-boy,
Now
shake it.
it's like, you know what? I worked hard for this, for these glutes. Y'all gonna see them.
You're gonna look. I don't have a problem looking at him. I look at him and my eyes are like, I put on my old man glasses if I say I can't. I say, oh, so you know, but yeah. But that's the thing is, you found something that you gives you a passion that you like. You understand the work, the consistency, the discipline that's involved with it. Most people won't ever do that. But again, this is about you. And also, as a competitor, it's not so much about competing against somebody else. It's about you versus you and what you
Hmm.
want to bring to the table. And you are working on some things. I would say this. I wish all the best when it comes to your injury and maybe everything get better for you. And also, as we go back to again, bodybuilding is expensive. Are you interested in being sponsored, or have you been approached by sponsors, or you ever considered getting sponsored?
So I'm trying to kind of like revamp my ID to be mostly fitness. So that's why I created a separate page for I have a separate page for my baking stuff because I also decorate cakes and things like that. I have a separate IG for my modeling pics, which I still sometimes share to my regular social media, of course, because I want potential sponsors to see, okay, well, she's photogenic, she looks nice and things like that. She could probably put something together, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to use this year to like tailor my Instagram mainly to like fitness content. So that maybe, hopefully I will get a sponsorship. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. But I know I need to grow my following. I need to be a little bit more engaging. So I know that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's when the social media is very important. It's a tool to use you as you're in this sport because, and it also brings attention. Sometimes you're going to have the good attention, you're going to have the bad attention, but it's good that attention to anything. And again, if guys out there who's interested in reach out to, I know most of you guys are more about the big, buff, muscular women, but these ladies in wellness and bikini, I've interviewed with them. They are still athletes, even though one division I not care too much, fit model. The bastard, you know. But I would say this: if y'all interested in sponsoring her, reach out with Jerry playing like not like, hey Shawnte, yeah, I seen your last competition. I like your division. It's Kiana, yeah. No, you sick freak. She got a kid at home. This is what you do, saying, um, this is what you do. This is how you do it. Mrs. Dixon, we are interested in your story, your life, being a former track star, helping being a single mother and taking care of your child. We are a company that are looking to elevate athletes in their process in this sport of bodybuilding. So if you feel like our product works with you and it's something that you might be interested in, let us know. We're happy to have you as one of our ambassadors and maybe have a good beneficial relationship in the business. So let us know, Mother.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Sign the contract, baby.
The doors to the DMs are open.
Yeah. Don't want, hey guys, don't be seeing no weird like that. Click, 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 click. Yeah. Stop it. So folks, we're not gonna hold it too long. I know she got a busy day tomorrow. She got things she got to do. Easter. What are you gonna do? What's the plan?
I just plan on relaxing. I just play, like I said, I work my regular job and then I coach kids in the evenings during the week. It's the track season is will be revving up next month, and there's going to be a track meet every single weekend. So I'm going to enjoy these off weekends while I can.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while since my family got together on Easter, but we usually get together most holidays. But Easter just isn't one of them.
Yeah.
We'll do
I know
Christmas Eve. We'll do Halloween. What else? What else? Of course, Thanksgiving, the major holidays.
to me, I would call Halloween a major holiday for me. I would say Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those were for especially when my mom was alive. She would get up and get in the morning, start cooking. I remember one time, one Christmas, where she couldn't get up and do it anymore. She was instructing me to cook a cake. I cooked 2 cakes,
Hmm.
and she was there. She was instructing me, and then the cakes came out. They were not pretty. She tasted them and said, "Son, they're not pretty, but they taste good." And I was so
Hey, that's
proud.
all that matters. That's all that matters.
That was my first and last time cooking cakes. So, folks, we're not going to hold much too longer. If you're interested in Shawnte, you can follow her. Link description is live. If you're someone interested in reaching out, let's wish her best of luck in a recovery and a rest, dealing with a
Thank
knee injury. We hope maybe see her not, if we don't see her this year, might see me
Oh,
next
you're
year.
gonna see me this year.
Oh, you sure? You're
You're
certain?
gonna listen. Look, I'm gonna speak that into existence. We're gonna get this knee together. You're gonna see me this year, and I'm going to look absolutely amazing. It's gonna be the best that I've ever looked on stage. Trust and believe me.
Yeah. Yeah, on stage getting guys all bricked up. Beep, 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 beep. So, this is one question I ask you. What would you want towards your future as a bodybuilder?
Right now, I'm just focused on going pro, whether that be OCB or NPC. That's my main goal right now. Is going pro. I've come close a couple of times, and I feel like this might be my year. Fingers crossed. I feel like this might be my year.
Yeah, OCB. I know a lady. She's a friend of mine. Her name is Nicole. She competes in OCB. She's a natural figure competitor. I know quite a few ladies do OCB. But like I said, NPC and IFB, those are the top levels of the sport of bodybuilding. Everybody
Now,
wants to go
NPC,
to.
I don't mind waiting until next year.
Yeah,
I'll wait till next year because I might want to coach. The judges might say, you know what, we might need just a little bit more, just a little bit more. But we'll see. It's definitely on my bucket list to become an IFBB natural wellness pro.
yeah, because they really are getting really about a more international. Like we talked earlier, the Pittsburgh Pro Day. That's next month, and they have a natural pro qualifier. There's the Ben Weeder show. It has a
Mhm.
natural pro qualifier, and still this shows that even natural competitors are beating enhanced competitors, like stuff like the Team Collegiate that's in Pittsburgh, the North
Yeah, yeah.
Americans. There's
I have
opportunity.
dreams. Like I want to be the face of natural IFBB wellness. I want to be the face of. I don't care who else is. Listen, I have friends that's going for that same title. I said, girl, go ahead and go for it. I said, but I'm coming right behind you, right after you. Like I love my friends to death, and I will motivate them. Like, look, I want this for you, but in the same sense, baby, I'm coming right behind you. I'm coming after the same thing. We both gonna get it, and we're teammates. Like, look, we gonna drive this. Our team can be the face of natural IFBB wellness. Let's go.
That's good. Not you congratulated our play here. That's good. We
Hey, oh, always, always. I never hate on anyone. I want the best for everyone. We're all here for one reason or another. I see no reason to, downplay anybody or degrade anybody for anything. Like because nothing good is going to come from me. If I'm sitting around talking bad about everybody, I'm not going to be blessed. And I want to see everybody at their absolute best. Whether it's you beating me this show, me beating you next show, but either way, we both gonna get out here and get it.
I'm like this. Your hate fuels me. It's my
Yeah.
energy. It's like is
It's
there
just
some
like in
movie?
track. You have your teammates, you laughing, what I'm saying, you having a good time, you in the bullpen having a good time. But once you step out on that track, it's me or you. One of us gotta cross this line first.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
the same with bodybuilding.
yeah. And competition. That's part of life sometimes. And if you do better than
Healthy
your,
competition. But I
yeah,
hate no one. Like if I was on the stage with one of my teammates and they beat me, I would probably still cry ugly tears for them. I am that's how supportive I am. I will probably still cry ugly tears. I'm like, yes, girl, get to this middle
and then
box.
back of your head saying, I should have beat that bitch. I should.
But then after we get off stage, like I'm gonna get you next time though.
I'm coming for the ass. There's a whole heap of ass too.
Exactly. But they know it will all be 100% in love.
Well, that's good. That's good. I hope you recover well. We hope we do get the chance to see you compete if you do well, and also if you possibly get shoot for opportunity to become the IVB. It is the top of the bodybuilding world, and we can use, people like yourself who have a passion, who have a drive, who just really fundamentally are good people. I wish all the best for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That means a lot.
Well, like I said, ma'am, it never hurts to help. And a quote from one of my favorite movies, Dark Knight Begins, he says like this. At the end of it, he says, when Gary Oldman is Jim Gordon turned around and says to Batman, says, I want to say thank you. He says, you never have to. That's why I do this. This gives me a purpose to reach out with women like yourself and to share your story. Let people know that this is not just about a bunch of people taking the big steroids and that. This is somebody who has a goal, has a dream, who's consistent, who's persistent, who's determined and disciplined to do something that's maybe out of the norm.
Mhm.
And that thing is, if you can't live for anything, you can live for yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
Uh, all right. Well, folks, we're not gonna hold Shawnte much longer. I'd like to thank my man K had wonderful coming through. I'd like to thank everybody who watched this video, comment, subscribe, follow me, support. Again, her links description of this live. Don't be some weird stuff. She got a kid, and come on, be respectful, guys. I know she's we're a party, but still, come on, guys. Come on. As I said like this, guys, you get more with a silk glove than with iron fist. I know what you do in that iron fist. So just like that. So anyway, folks, I'd like to thank Shawnte Dixon. Appreciate it. Best of luck to her. And shout out to her and to her coach, her friends, her family, and her little man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this Easter weekend. Check out the Triple O Dynasty. Also, if you want to watch it, they do have some codes. There for you want to watch the whole show, it's Pro Show. If you just want to watch the figure part, it's Pro Figure, and also you want to watch the women's bodybuilding, it's Pro WB. You can go to my on my YouTube channel. You can find the link where I did a couple of videos. Also, you can go to the Triple O Dynasty. Also, check out my dear friends from Bad Rap, and also check out my brother KL the Wanderer and my brother David from Female Body Forum. Shout out those guys. They are fans of women's bodybuilding, and they also support them. So, folks, I want you to enjoy your Easter weekend. Say hello to the bunny, and thank you for your time. This is my way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. Good night, good luck, God, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, bunny.